What's going on, guys? Your boy Joey Shake 72 coming to you guys with a video right now. So I want to go over what are the Eagles really going to do this coming free agency and the NFL draft. Now, there's two scenarios that I have, okay? And we're going to find out whatever the Eagles do in free agency, we're obviously going to know what they're going to do in the draft. And obviously the Eagles are going defense in the draft. Can we all agree on that? Okay. We all agree on that. The Eagles have no cap. No cap, no cap. The Eagles have no cap. There's nothing to do. They're not going to have enough money, blah, blah, blah. This is what people just say. And even fans of other teams say the same thing. They don't really get it, so I'm going to kind of put it down for you. The Eagles are $15 million over the cap right now, which is not great, but it's not bad. McLeod got a restructure, which freed up a few $1 million. What, 3.4 million, 2.4, whatever the hell it was. Timmy Jernigan is probably going to get a restructure with an $11 million cap hit. Most likely, he's going to get restructured one more time, and then he's probably going to get let go. Jason Peters is what? Going to be a $9 million in savings if we get rid of him this year. 8, 9 million, whatever it is. We're going to get that. Brandon Graham is about 7 point something million when he leaves and hits the market. You have a few guys and a good amount of money. Eagles should have about, I'm thinking about 30 million, 24 to 33 million in cap space, at least. And this is all on the fly, guys. I'm talking about this on the fly, if you could tell right now. First scenario, the Eagles are going to load up in free agency at the defensive line. Because honestly, in this 4-3 scheme, do you really need a high-caliber corner? You do, but you don't. This year, we just had a lot of problems. Ronald Darby tearing his ACL. Rodney McLeod tearing his ACL. Jalen Mills, lower body issues, out for the year. You lost half your secondary. You almost lost all your secondary. Defensive line wasn't that great. Haloti Ngata didn't really become that. I knew he wasn't the Haloti Ngata of Haloti Ngata from Baltimore Ravens, Haloti Ngata, but he was a good rotational guy, which he became a starter when Timmy Jernigan was barely playing. Derek Barnett tore his ACL or Achilles, whatever he had. It's been a mess. Switching the cornerback position 13 times the Eagles did. 13 times. Devontae Bosby was horrible. Chandon Sullivan was horrible. Middle of the season, we picked up Cre'Von LeBlanc from the Lions practice squad. Was horrible in the beginning. Avonte Maddox, our 4th-round pick from Pittsburgh, started at safety. Or they were moving him around. They were kind of trying to see what was working with this secondary. Then all of a sudden, Cre'Von LeBlanc was playing good in the nickel. Avonte Maddox was actually playing good at safety and started to play outside after Sidney Jones was just been absolutely hurt this past 2 seasons. Just been hurt. So when I go with this first scenario here, you load up at the defensive line position, and there's plenty of defensive tackles out there. You got Gerald McCoy. You got Lawrence from the Cowboys. You have a bunch of guys. A defensive end, defensive tackle is very strong. Marquise Golden, Preston Smith, D Ford, Ziggy Ansah. Let me tell you something. The defensive end position is going to be crazy because there's probably about over 20 free agent defensive ends. I believe the Eagles are going to pay a high, and I made a video about this like, a month ago? The Eagles are going to pay a defensive end top dollar this year. They are. They're going to pay. Look, defensive tackle is not going to be the defensive end is very important. Defensive tackle is not that bad because whoever's lined up next to Fletcher Cox is going to have a lot of momentum because Fletcher Cox is going to take on a lot of attention, take on some double teams. You could put in a guy next to Fletcher Cox that's going to do some work, and you don't need the most high calibrated guy in the NFL. Load up at the defensive line in free agency. And no, I'm not saying get this high caliber player, get that high caliber. I'm talking about you sign one defensive end to a high price, then Howie Roseman, like he did last year, okay? He signed those rotational signings, those little backup signings, those Corey Graham signings. You understand the Corey Graham signings, I forgot his damn name. The little signings that help the depth of this team. It's not all about just the starters in this 4-3 front. It's all about what's around it and inside depth. So it's very important. And they're not going to be expensive, okay? There might be players that want to play here after seeing what the hell they're getting, what Philly is acquiring. They might come here just because, holy shit, I want to play next to him. I want to play with this D-line. Totally forgot about Michael Bennett. He played absolutely amazing this year. Hasn't lost a step. $7 million cap hit. I'll keep that $7 million cap hit because he's worth the $7 million cap hit. You go to the draft. Still in the first scenario, guys. You go to the draft. You move up from 25. I think the Eagles got the 25th pick or the 23rd pick. Forgot which one. I think it's the 25th pick. They move up to the 13th pick. They go get Greedy Williams from LSU, cornerback. Greedy Williams isn't going to be a top 10 pick, Joe. What are you talking about? Greedy Williams is going to be a top 15 pick in this draft. And I bet you $100. If somebody wants to make a video bet with me, I will pay you $100 if I'm wrong. He's going to be a top 15 pick in this draft. The Eagles desperately need a cornerback of the damn future. Somebody that could be here for a while. This year was just a mess in the secondary. Defensive line got hit with injuries. The secondary got hit with injuries, and we brought a whole bunch of new players. Practice squad. We had a practice squad secondary at one point when we were, 4-6. Load up at the defensive line free agency, then go for Greedy Williams at cornerback because cornerback's not strong this year. There's a few guys. I'd get a Byron Murphy from Washington, Greedy Williams from LSU. Greedy Williams would be my top pick, of course. Second scenario. Eagles go get a defensive line free agency. They get some rotational signings, nothing crazy. They go in the draft, and they draft a D-tackle in the first round. And there are plenty of them. Christian Hawkins, Hawkins from Clemson. I'm getting one of those boys from Clemson. The only D-tackles I want are from Clemson. You got Lawrence, and you got Hawkins. Both those guys. You get one of them. I'd probably go get Hawkins. Those are pretty much the two scenarios I have right now. A lot of speculation, but it makes a lot of sense. See, when the Eagles are letting Ronald Darby walk in free agency, were you really surprised? Because I really wasn't surprised at all. You can't pay him. You can't pay Ronald Darby for what? He's an average corner. He's nothing crazy. We gave away a third-round pick in Jordan Matthews for Ronald Darby. What do I think the Eagles are going to do? Besides all the Nick Foles bullshit that's going on, you know what I think they're going to do? I think they're going to be pretty balanced. But I have a feeling that the Eagles are going to go very hard with the little signings that aren't expensive and getting that top pass rusher. And I think they're going to go up and get Greedy Williams. That's what I think. And honestly, I don't care which scenario it is. Either way, I'd be happy. I'd rather try to get a cornerback, someone that we need to go get a high-caliber corner. It'd be nice to just have somebody and see what they do. And Greedy Williams or Byron Murphy or something, something like that. You can't spend too much money, I understand. I'm not saying they're going to get Jadeveon Clowney and they're going to get, this guy and they're going to get, it's not going to happen. No. They're going to pay a defensive end. Because honestly, like I said, you put someone next to Fletcher Cox, you're not going to really, they're not going to take on as much. You understand? Like you're not, if you're a defensive tackle coming to the Philadelphia Eagles, you're like, holy shit, I'm playing next to Fletcher Cox. I might get a lot of one-on-ones. Timmy Jernigan he's come back from the spinal injury and he didn't look the same even coming back. I mean, it was pretty much his preseason, but a lot of rehab. When you have a lot of rehab, you don't have much practice. No practice, it's not showing on the field. Which is why I think he's going to get a restructure. Timmy Jernigan could be a backup, but a restructure, maybe. Maybe he gets released. You got, $7 million in the cap right there? Eagles can create a tremendous chunk of cap space, and they're in good position to do so if they know what they're going after. But these are the two scenarios I have. Either you load up on the defensive line free agency, go after a corner in the draft, move up 25 to 13. Or scenario 2, pay a defensive end, do your little signings, your inexpensive signings, your mid-tier expensive signings, and draft a D tackle. in this draft. D-tackle or corner are my 2 picks in this draft with the first round. So let me know in the comment section. I did this video on the fly because I just wanted to talk about it and what you guys think. So leave your comment in the comment section. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Shake Squad up. Fly goes fly.